Hey everybody, OK Fixer here, and welcome back to my garage. And we're going to do a little something different today. There's two subjects I want to go on. One is an old lawnmower that I have, and number two is something that just cropped up recently, and that is an alternator. This alternator here, if you notice, it has a tag on it and it's pretty clean. It's been rebuilt, all right? A new alternator for the wife's car is in the neighborhood of $270. That's outright with no core. That's on Rock Auto. So I can only imagine what O'Reilly's or AutoZone or any of these other places want for one. Yikes. Okay, of course, I gave $65 for it because I bought it at the salvage yard. I went and I found one in a car that was really nice and had been rebuilt already. You know, they give a 30-day warranty. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. Here's the problem. I went on vacation and the wife's car's battery went dead because I left it connected. Now my Ford truck does the same thing because it has computer control stuffs. And when you're gone and you don't run the vehicle for a month, what happens is all those computers slowly parasitic drain to have a parasitic drain on the battery, and it loses its chooch. So I went to go move the car. When I come back, nothing. The alarm wouldn't work, nothing. So I opened up the door, popped the hood. I must have disconnected the battery. No, I didn't. I didn't disconnect it. The battery's absolutely flat. So I put it on a charger, 10 amps, and I let it sit there for about 15 minutes. And that was enough to start the car. And so I started the car. Okay, when your battery is flat in your car and it's not fully charged, okay, the alternator is going to charge it, which is fine. That's kind of what it's for, right? Okay, yes and no. Some factors played in here. When you have a 90-degree day and you have the air conditioner on and the car is sitting there idling, you have heat and you have hardly any draw from this little fan here going across here. Okay, so it's not drawing the air through like it should. Okay, there's two parts to this alternator. Okay, the first part is the charging part. Okay, the charging part doesn't give a damn about the part in the back, the diodes, the rectifier that's going to turn the, I don't know, whatever, 130 volts and squeeze it down into 12 volts. So when you squeeze that down into 12 volts, this gets fantastically hot, and this is just chooching away, and it doesn't care. It just keeps giving it full boat, see? And this tiny little rectifier has to put up with it, and it's got a, you know, a heat sink in it and a fan and everything. But in the heat and not turning enough, she let go. So I got this alternator here that's going to need a new rectifier bridge. You know, the diode set in it. The actual, you know, the alternator part or the generating part of it's just fine. But the diodes are burnt out in it because it wasn't turning fast enough to use the fan. The battery was low, so it was giving it full boat. And it was really hot, so it burned it up. So in the future, if you ever have a flat battery and you say, oh, I'm going to get a jump and the battery and the alternator will charge it. Well, that might be fine when it's cool out or in the wintertime, but when it's fantastically hot, boy, don't do that. Put your battery on a charger and let it charge up first before you go doing that. Cost me $65. Could have cost me almost $300. So there you go. Charge your battery. Use a battery charger to charge it, and just use your alternator to tend your battery instead of charging it. That could have been worse. Okay, the second thing I want to talk about is this monster right here. This I pulled out of the trash And I kind of like it. That's why I want to fix it. It's got a good walking speed. It's got one pull hand. It's really simple. It's one pull handle, like to operate the drive wheels. Drive wheels are in the front, so they do spin a bit. Yeah, but it works. I like a walking mower that's self-propelled. It's great. I had to do a little bit to it. I had a sheared keyway and whatnot like that. This dragster here is one of those that says you don't ever need to change your oil. And brother, let me tell you, they didn't. So I cleaned it up the best I could, but it was a little knocky when I started using it. I've changed the oil a couple of times, but it's still knocky. And just recently, it started getting more knocky. So before it puts a rod through the block, I think I'm going to take it apart and look at it. And if the crank's dicked up on it, I'm still going to put a rod on it and see what happens. I don't think it's going to be too bad because the rod's made out of aluminum, you know, it's real soft, and the crank is hardened steel. So I don't think I have any damage there. And I might even re-ring it. Who knows? I think that's the cause of it using the oil like it did, like it does. But maybe I won't re-ring it. I'll just clean them all up and throw a hone down the bore, or a bore down the hone, a hone down the bore. It depends on how much the rings are. So I'm already into this for a carburetor, which was $22 or something like that. So, and a belt, which was $11. So, you know, how much is a new mower and that kind of stuff? But I don't like throwing things away. People throw away too many things. So, okay, well, enough gum flapping, and let's get this thing up on the stand, and let's get it taken apart and have a look at that rod, because I think that's what's causing all our problems. All right, I'm not going to bore you with taking all the crapulence off this lawnmower in order to get to the motor. So I'm going to simply do it all myself, and then I'll get it down to the motor and, engine, and we'll crack it open and take a look. Be right back. Okay, I got to do this with one hand, but let me show you what we got going on here. Now, of course, the piston is in its bore, right? You understand that. It could be the connecting rod to the piston, but usually what it is, it's the connecting rod to the crank. And we have this slack. I believe that to be in the connecting rod. Savage. Okay, this dragster here doesn't have a drain plug on the bottom, like a lot of mowers. They just don't have them anymore. And in order to change the oil in these, what you have to do is you either have to suck it out or you have to pour it out. So usually what I do is I just tip the motor up on its side, the mower, and I pour it out. Now, I don't know if I'm going to have to, coming out of there slow. I don't know if I'm going to have to take the flywheel off. I don't think so. I think I can just take the bottom portion. I'm going to have to pull that. That's not going to be fun. And I'm probably going to have to pull the cylinder head, because I'm going to have to push the rod out that way, and then of course extract it from the piston. So I do have quite a bit of oil in here though, however, and it doesn't look too bad. Of course, I changed it twice. So we're going to get all this out of there. We'll pull that pulley off of there, and I won't bore you with any of that. Let me get that. There we go. Good enough. Let me get to where we're really pulling the engine apart and come back. Right back. Kind of funny, like sometimes when you go to take one of these pulleys off, it just won't come off there at all.
but you get a lawnmower that's been knocking and rattling, and it breaks all the crap loose, and she just wants to come right off easy. All right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the head off first. So let's take the valve cover off. Got a little OHV action going on here, which is overhead valves, not overhead cam, but it has push rods and rockers, tiny ones. And I think I did an adjustment to these when I first... Is my big head in the way? It is, isn't it? I'm so sorry. Here, let me fix this.
All right. If my head gets in the way again, just swat it, okay?
Well, do we have any bolts underneath there? And it looks like, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Okay, we're going to have to take these rockers off there again, I believe. Maybe not. Is there bolts under there? There are bolts under there. No, I don't think so. I think this only has 4 bolts on it. 4 bolts holding that in there. Okay, let's see what we got here. What size do those look like? 10 millimeter? They're 10s, aren't they? They sure are. Okay. Probably 3/8 actually. It's a... No, they're 10 millimeter. I was going to say, it's American. Supposed to be anyways. Okay. Yeah, it looks like that head will come right off there. So let's take that off. See what we have underneath here. Well, isn't that very modular? Okay, that push rod goes in the top, and that push rod goes in the bottom. So we're going to remember that. This one goes towards the base. And so we're going to put that on the magnetic tray. And this one, probably the same size, but goes at the top. Well, let's have a look at that. Boardage. Oh, it's still got the brake on. That's what's wrong with it. Let's see if we can't defeat that brake really quick. There's a spring on there. Let me get that spring off of there, or somehow clamp that where I can spin it. Okay, I found my hone, but it's not all that great. And what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get this ridge off of there. It's got a slight ridge, and I don't want to push them rings past that and scratch those rings up. So we'll try to make this work. No guarantees here. I think that's enough. I think that's all I needed. I just needed that little spot. Once I get that piston out of there, I might run this down there a couple of times and call it good. Now, let's see here. Okay, let me kind of clean this mess up a little bit, and we'll crack that case open on the bottom. Okay, I gave the shaft a little what for with the wire wheel, so when you slide this off, it doesn't booger up the seal. The idea is to spend as little on this as possible. I'm hoping to get away with just a rod. I might even use a head gasket over it. Gonna want to save those. Those are important. Well, most of them anyways. Don't pound on that gentle or that delicate aluminum housing with a metal hammer. Okay, I won't. Don't tell anybody, okay? What's going on there? Well, I don't see any more bolts. Is that one in there? No. Doesn't look like it. Maybe I should jam a screwdriver in there. Okay. Oh, that's dandy, huh? That's a mess. Ugh. Okay, there you go. Let's see what you got here. Let's see if anything pops out really crazy. Oh, there's a little shimmichka there. That's going to be important. Okay. Got a gasket here. I think we'll have to glue that back together. This is obviously some sort of slinger. And this... Oh no, it's not a slinger. That's a governor. How interesting. Oh, I see. Okay, that just comes off there like that. Okay, is this got some timing marks on it then maybe somewhere? Well, looks like there's one there. Let's give her a little spin and see if what's hitting there. We can get them lined up. Where'd it go? There's a mark right there. Let's see if it lines up with anything on the crank. Well, I don't see anything lining up with the crank. Let me study this a little bit and see if I can find some timing marks for you, because I think probably that's going to be important to time back up again, right? By golly, there is a mark. Right there on the crank, right on that gear. Right there. And that lines up with that. And let me think. I guess you could get it 180 out, couldn't you? I guess you could. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, I've got the lifters up out of the way, so I'm going to pull this cam out of here. It's a plastic cam. Plastic lifters. Isn't that neat? And here's our lobes, I should say. Plastic lobes. Here's our lifters. And let's... Listen to this. That rod's got a little slack in it. Got a bit of slack in it. Just a smidgen of slack in that rod there. Okay, we're going to take these off this cap, these nuts off this cap, and then we'll try to push the piston out through the front there. Let's see, what's that going to be? 5/16 looks like. Yeah, that's a little bit better. You can see a little more. I took those bolts off, and the rod cap came right off easy. Really doesn't look too bad. Doesn't mean anything. Now let's spin this crank out of the way. Come on. There it is. Let's see if we can push that piston up out of there. There she is. Why don't you want to come out of there? You said you did, and now you don't. Well, let's get up there with a big sharp chisel or something. See if we can smack it a couple of times. Okay, I managed to get it loose. There she is. Now, let's see if it's a... No, it doesn't have any slack there. What's this surface look like? Gotta be that. Well, I'm going to take the crankshaft out of this and then fit the connecting rod to it. You can see it's got a lot of scoring on this piston too. Wonder what this notch is all about. Okay, let's find out where the notch goes. Let's see, it came off this way. Couldn't have come off this way. Because we took the bolts out this way. So it had to go in this way. So the notch in the piston goes towards the flywheel. The notch in the piston goes towards the flywheel. All right, let's take the crankshaft out of that. I'm going to mark down on this piece of cardboard that the notch goes towards the flywheel. Then I'll know. Let's get that crankshaft out of there, and then we'll have a look with the rod actually bolted to the crankshaft. Before I take this rod off this piston, it does say mag right here. So that's the magneto side or the flywheel side. And it correlates with a notch in the piston, so that's on that side. Also, this, I thought it was a Tecumseh engine, but it may not be because it has a Briggs badge right there. So, don't know. Gonna have to look at that a little closer and see if this might be a Briggs engine instead of a Tecumseh engine. Thought it was a Tecumseh. Maybe they're the same. Don't know. So it's several days later, and I got online and I was looking at, they want over $40 for that connecting rod for a junk lawnmower. That's just way too much. And I thought to myself, gee, there's really not any scoring on that. There's not any scoring on the crankshaft. Why don't you mic that and see exactly what you got? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mic on this and see what we got here. That. We're about 998. So I'm just guessing that that's going to be a 1-inch crank. 998. Well, now it's 1.002. Hard to do with these hazard fraud micrometers. Yeah, 99. It's probably at 1 inch. So now I'm going to do an inside on this baby and see what we got here. See, I got 1 inch on the inside there. It's a little tight. 996, 1 inch. Okay, what I'm saying is, this is about 2 thousandths. I looked at it really good. It's about 2 thousandths difference. Okay, the rod's about 2 thousandths shorter than the crank, smaller than the crank, which is tolerance right there. Okay, so I don't think that was the problem. And I got to looking at things a little bit more, and it's highly likely this is what the problem is. I know after having this thing all apart, I know. But it's okay, it's a learning experience. I was looking at the keyway in the crankshaft here. Can you see him? I got this. The keyway in the crankshaft right here, where the deal for the don't fall, where the deal for the blade sits, and the key is, I'll have to show you later, but let's get this engine back together because I think it's okay. Oh boy. It might be wore out, but it's not ready to blow, I think. So, all right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the rod back on the piston. And as you remember, the rod, I'm just giving no cares really. The rod has a mag. It says mag on it somewhere, right there. And the piston has a notch on it. So the notch goes to the mag side, flywheel side. So we're gonna tap that in there using a giant steel hammer. Yeah, it'll be beautiful. Shh, don't tell anybody, okay? Get that in there. And we'll push that in there all the way, and then we'll put our little clip in. Ooh, that was a close one. I had a white shirt on. Savage. That would have turned out bad. Okay. Says mag. Okay, so it's going to point to this way. So it's going to go like this. Okay, so of course, this is going to be the bottom because this is the crankshaft. Where the crankshaft goes to the blade. So this is going to be the bottom. So of course, the engine's going to be like this. So you don't want your oil ring down here. I'm trying to oil ring gap down there. So I'm going to put my oil ring gap on the top, and then I'm going to splay out my compression rings a little bit over here and a little bit over here. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to use what is this? Oh, that's assembly lube. We can't. Here's some oil. Well, that's kind of oil. That's kind of grease. Kind of. Yeah, it's something. There you go. Gotta get something on there, huh? Give it half a chance. See, back to our mag side. Yes, that's gonna be right. Gotta get in here. And I'm gonna kind of flip this up over the crank. I can. Yeah, let's get that out of the way first. We'll just kind of guide it in there. Now, let's see how much room we have. Yeah, I realize you can't see anything. Not too much to see. Alright, all we got to do is squeeze those rings now and get them past that. I think I'm going to have a ring compressor. Maybe a small one. Let me go see if I can find a ring compressor really quick. So I'm managing to get these rings down here because I don't have a compressor. Let's see, that's going to be, yeah, it'll work all right. I don't have a compressor small enough, so I'm kind of working around it with this plastic stick. doesn't seem to be having pretty good success. There she is. There it is. Okay. Now, let's see if we can't get that rod on there. It's the wrong way. Bring that up a little bit. Turn that. Come this way. And then come down. Oh, peachy. Look at that. Now, get that in there. There we go. Now, I'll put the cap on. The cap only goes one way, so we'll wipe that off and put a little grease on it and tighten those bolts up to exactly 109 inch-pounds. Yeah, right. Okay, you should check your work as you go. So it should be tight but not binding, says the John Deere manual. Wait, saying John Deere, that's right. So our piston is doing pistoning stuff, and there doesn't seem to be any you know, gnashing of teeth, so I think we're okay there. And our crank seems to be doing crank stuff. Oh, I got my finger. I don't know. Okay, now I'm going to move this out of the way, and then I'm going to put our lifters in. So our lifters, this one says flywheel, so that's going to be the one on the bottom. Let's see here if I can find it. Was my big head in the way again? Here, I tell you what, I'm just going to put them in there. Because, yeah, got the lifters in. Now the cam should go in. There's a little mark right here. And, of course, we're going to put a little lube on things as we go along. And that little mark right there aligns with this little mark right here. So I'm going to put that right in there. Just like that. And walk away. Okay, next thing is that this thing, whatever the hell this is. Oh, how's that going there? Like that? Can't go up there backwards, can it? Let's see. How does that fit in there? What's that all about? These flip open somehow. And I don't know. Let's go over here. Goes over here. Let's see, has it got a wear mark there? Yeah. Okay, I see. As this little gizmo spins, it flips this out like this. And this has to push against this rod. So that's got to go there. Is there any indexing on the other side? Like, is that right? God, that's goofy. Is there any indexing for it on the other part of the case? Let's see here. There's a couple of pieces of webbing here. Maybe it rubs up against that. wonder if it goes upside down. I don't think it went upside down, did it? No, it can't go upside down like that. It'll only go in there one way. Just throw it away. We don't need it. Let's wipe this out. It's full of old oil, and I'll put this on here and see how it kind of fits. I put it together and it fit right in place, and it fits right between these two slots, so it keeps it right in the correct position. So we'll have to put our cam back in and re-index it. So let's do that. Where'd the timing mark go? There it is. Let's see, that's got to go there. Fits right perfect between those two pieces. So no problem. No issues. It kind of self-aligns. All right, I'm going to clean up this gasket and put on some Permatex. I think all it is broken, so I'm just going to clean it up really good and Permatex it all back up, and it should hold most of the oil. Okay, I got that cleaned up with the SuperTech parts cleaner. Every time I smell this, it smells like the Mitsubishi parts cleaner that we used to use, brake cleaner. And every time I smell it, it reminds me of having to work that second job after my normal job so I could afford this dump, a mortgage on this dump. And it just makes you shiver. It's like going back to school, smelling all those clothes, all those new clothes, and your nose doesn't play tricks on you. You know, it's like, oh God, I'm back in school. Oof. Yeah, it was like that. Working on cars that no one wanted to work on. All good stuff was gone. All the money was taken. Yeah. Get Dan to do it. He'll do anything. It's about the way it was. Okay, I'm using a little assembly lube here, and we're going to kind of stick these back together. Let's see what you got. Got a little washer here. I didn't forget. Still there. The idea is to put this thing together and not have any parts left over, you know. And that should line right up like that. Okay, we'll get those bolts in there, and those tighten to exactly 67 metric Newton inch-pounds. Okay, you want to check your work when you get done. On a single cylinder engine, remember, you just have one mark you have to line up on the cam. You know, it's suck, squash, bang, blow, so you know there's no real ignition timing. It has one spark plug, so yeah. So you don't have to worry about it being 180 out. So everything seems to be turning really well. So we're golden. Now let's put our push rods in and our cylinder head on. And I need to find that gasket. Let's see where the gasket is. There's the gasket. So I was thinking about buying a new gasket. And then I thought again when I seen the $27 price tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up with a little bit more of memory smell. Oof, that smells like terrible people and terrible jobs and awful pay. Ugh. Oh yeah, that smell, it's like, when I smell that smell, the whole shop smelled like that. And it was like, when I walked in there, it was like, oh, Jesus, what else? What am I going to work on today? It's going to be, I know what it's going to be, a timing belt on a 3000 GT with dual overhead cams, right? Oh, God. Okay, so I'm going to clean that up, clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna spray a little bit of that copper stuff on there and see if we can't get this to. It's not like this is a racing engine and it's got like, 12-to-1 compression. Okay, it's a lawnmower. It's a junk lawnmower. Okay. Oh, I forgot. I was going to do a valve job on this, so give me a minute. All right, got our freshly ground valves, and I wonder which way this goes. Huh. Does it matter? I wonder if it matters. That looks good, actually. Let's put it on there this way and see what happens. That looks equally as good. Don't think it matters. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on there like this. Try to anyways. Got our push rods in place. Do you remember which way they went? I don't either. I just stuck them in there. They're both the same size. I'm not even going to do a valve adjustment on it, so it doesn't matter to me. Let's see here. Does that not want to go in there? Head. I wonder if I can put them in later. I probably can. Is that the way it's supposed to? Kind of like that, sort of. Maybe that's why that gasket doesn't fit on there right. Maybe I got the gasket on there backwards. Let's turn that around. See if that doesn't fit better. Well, let's see, that's going to be important to get that lined up. And those have got to go in those holes. That's what they're for. That's what the bullets are for. Shoot. That's what the bullets are for. Oh, boy. About like that. Kind of get it started a little bit, maybe. What do you think? Then put these in later. And then put these on. Like, and like, yeah. Something like that. And then give it a Frankenstein. What size is that? 10 millimeter? And of course I wouldn't have it with me. Okay, I'll have to find one. Hold on. Sorry, my big head's in the way. Let's see if those valves operate. It'll be easier without a. It'd be easier without a. Yeah, they operate, sort of. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, see that? There you go. Yeah, okay. Now, let me get these. I've got 3. I know 3 is enough, but I'd rather have 4. So let me see if I can find 4. And we'll get that cinched down to the book value of 126 inch Newton meters. Click. Click. What the hell is that? Oh, okay. Who the hell is Smiler Grogan? Okay, I got it now. Click. Oh, click. A little bit more on this one. Yeah, it should be good. Shouldn't have any problems there. Ooh. Okay, what's next? Valve cover. Valve cover. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah. Does it got clearance on that other one? Let's see what we got here. Yeah, he's got clearance. I'm not even gonna adjust them. I did before, so I'm not gonna mess with it. Okay, I suppose the flywheel is next. Key is in it to win it. Let's see here. Like this. Stick that key back down there. A little sloppy, but it'll work. Fan maybe, something like that. And then this kind of something goes there, and then that's got to go down in there, like about like that, and then that goes on there. Yeah. We don't have a zapper like that. Let's see. Let's see what I can come up with. Maybe I gotta look. I do. Should be about right. Yeah, what's next? Carburetor, I guess, huh? Okay, before I put that carb on there, this is where I was thinking where all our slack was coming from, because the key is just barely in there. Yes, it fits in there, so let me try to take this key out of there, maybe turn it around or turn it on its side, or we can do something, because it probably had some slack in it like this, and it was probably causing a noise or knocking that I thought may have been a rod knock. It still might have a rod knock, but let me check this out anyways.
because what I seen inside the engine does not, it's not a rod knock. It could be some piston slap maybe, I don't know, but I've seen engines way worse than this, and they were knocking because it was Captain Obvious. This, let me get that out of there and we'll have a look. This little notch here seems to line up with this right here. So I think what they've done is they've just indented this to make it fit into there. So let me indent it a little bit more in the vise with a big hammer. That's exactly what that is. This has been stamped and then pressed. And what I did is I pounded it proud inside about another, it's not quite 1/8 of an inch, but something where it'll hook up better into here. So let's try driving that on the big hammer. I'm going to put the bolt in there and kind of crank it down and probably get it to go all the way down better. Oh, incidentally, if you ever take one of these off, put the O-ring in there and snap that little plastic gizmo back on. See, this has got to go. About like that. Let's see here. What do you got here? Like that. Something like that. And then it's got to go in here like. Got a little thermostat here. Something like that. Oh, watch me clean this. Let's see here. It's going to go at the bottom. Yeah, I might just, there you go. Like this then, right? This hose goes like, y'all. Nah. Something's amiss. I think this goes at the top. Probably. Right there. See, this has to go like this. So this hose, this is all wrong. This has got to go way at the top. So let's poke that up through there, like that. And then that would go on there about like that.
Then the screws would go in there, yeah? Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, don't ask me why. It's the only thing that fits it. So it's the only lawnmower I have that fits these. So yeah, why not put it in there? Right? Why not? Yeah, yeah. Why not? Let's wipe all this out of there. Okay. Okay. What do we got here? What do you suppose goes there? Well, the Frankenstein goes there. But I don't have it because it's on the mower. Hey, let's go get the mower. How about that? Where the hell did it go? Oh, there it is. Let's see here. I'm going to put that on that pulley first. And then bolts on it. That might be the idea. Tip it up on its end here. And see if everything doesn't go a-tumbling. Let's see here. Boy, that's a handful. You know, that's a handful right next to my Volkswagen, too. Oh, no. I can see this thing just leaping up in the air and going through the windshield of my Volkswagen. Sailing across the cardboard barrier. I can't see, can you? Huh. Let me get one in. See if I can just get one in. Find a hole. There you are. Now, let's see if I can just get this one out. Easy now. There. Let's see what's next here. How about the blade? Let's see there. That. And all those went all over the place. Okay, let's see what we can find here. Well, there's the bolt. And there you go. Let's see here. Precariously balance this somewhere. Yep. That's I'm doing this off camera, sorry. Against my better judgment, I'm putting fresh oil in it. Wow, that's way up there. It ought to really be smoking now. Yeah, dump some of that out. Put that much in, did I? No, it's good. Right up on the top. Terrific. Terrific. Now, I need to get some gas, and I need to put the cranker on. Oh, I need to put all those bolts in the drive too. Into the drive. Let's put this gizmo on. That's gonna go right here. Probably bent the wrong way, is it? Yeah, I might have to do a little adjusting to that. There we go. Yeah. Get that a little. See what you got there. You have to adjust that rod a little bit more. Well, after all kinds of fiddle-effing around, I finally got this thing. Bolts in it. Wasn't fun. The back bolt and the Frankenstein's missing, so I ended up having to tap that one. Put a little fuel in it. I'm not going to put a lot in it. Put a little bit in it. This one, I ended up having to tap it. Put a 6x1 in it because the other bolt went flying, so I don't know where it's at. Then just because this got cheesed up here inside and it wouldn't work anymore, so what I ended up having to do is I cut this piece down a little bit because it was just folding itself up. Stuffed it back in there, put a bunch of zip ties on it, and tied a knot on the extra, the little extra. It'll work for a little while, and that's all I need is a little while. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, well, some of them go and some of them blow, so there you go. Well, I didn't think it was something as simple as that keyway in the blade. So what I just did is I bumped out that keyway a little bit. Yeah, I took it all apart. Yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah, I didn't have to. Yeah, okay. I got to see the inside of the engine though, and it's pretty clean and not too bad. It does use a little bit of oil, so I'll keep up on that. And I might get another couple of years out of this junkyard mower mowing. And how much, what did it cost me? It cost me oil, gas, and a little Permatex. Oh, and 5 zip ties, and my time. But yeah, so don't give up the ghost, or don't give up the ship, or don't give up something. Huh? What? Okay.